Very much, Program Director, President Mbeki, the Chairperson of the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, Mayor Geraldine Fraser Moleketi, our Professor Lingabula, the VC of the University of South Africa, members of UNISA management who are here, and council, if they are also here, and the student representatives. Also, I would like to recognize the trustees of the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, our keynote speaker, Professor Munandulo, our General, the Deputy Minister of Defense, General Bantu Holomisa, Excellencies, the ambassadors present here, members of Parliament, and I hope they will be more disciplined today because they are guests, members of civil society and academia, officials of Parliament, officials of UNISA, ladies and gentlemen, happy Africa Day. It is indeed an honor and privilege that I welcome you to this important event as part of a week-long celebration of Africa Day, as well as welcoming you here in Cape Town, which is the legislative arm of state, and this is where we are located. As Parliament and a member of the Pan-African Parliament, Africa Day is not just a day to remember and celebrate. However, it is a day in which we take stock of how far we have gone in realizing the Africa we want. We have developed frameworks that are anchored in our African Union Constitutive Act. NEPAD, for instance, give us a template of how we can leverage our natural, human, and technological resources to build a resilient Africa's economy. The Lagos Plan of Action also outlined critical plans that, if we were to follow them, they will take us a step further in our development trajectory as a continent. Agenda 2063, which gave us a broad vision of an Africa we want. This vision was actually developed by a number of citizens who participated in formulating what it is that we would want to see as Africans. The Pan-African Parliament, which brings together public representatives from member parliaments, have developed model laws that have brought harmony on certain legislative framework across the continent. All of these, ladies and gentlemen, indicate the journey we have traveled in putting the foundation from which we can build the Africa we want. Here in South Africa, as we reflect on Africa Day, in a context where we mark 30 years since the country promulgated its constitution, the supreme law of the land, which lays the foundation of the South Africa constitutional democracy and a South Africa that we want. We want to also look at this South Africa that we want in the context of the Africa that all of us have agreed should be an Africa that is prosperous, an Africa that is fully developed, an Africa that can utilize the skills and all other resources we have, but also an Africa that can stand tall amongst nations. I must say that in the few days that we have been having these long celebrations, we've had certain unfortunate incidences in our country, where some of Africa's citizens have found themselves in a country where they fear, in a country where they feel unwelcomed. This migration issue is a very important one that I hope we will all reflect in a manner that enables us as Africans to construct better systems that can ensure that we coexist and co-work together. In recognizing this special occasion, the National Assembly held a webinar on the 10th of May 2026, exactly the day in which the National Assembly adopted the Constitution. During that webinar, we reflected on our journey, but also successes and challenges that we have encountered over the years. Today, we are partnering with UNISA to host this colloquium as part of the build-up to the main Africa Day event that will take place on the 23rd of May 2026 here in Cape Town. This colloquium will focus on the contemporary issues facing Africa and the role that Africa must play to shape Africa's future and functioning democracy. It brings together activists, youth, academics, business community, as well as members of parliament to dialogue and chart a way forward for the Africa we want and the democracy we envisioned when the liberation movement led the struggle against oppression and violation of human rights. This colloquium is a platform for reflection and dialogue on South Africa's constitutional journey over the past 3 decades. This colloquium also looks at progress and challenges of constitutional democracy, democratic governance, institutional legitimacy, and public trust, as well as South Africa's role within Africa and the broader global community. Program Director, the journey towards this achievement of our constitutional democracy has been very long. It had various milestones in which South Africans expressed their views about the South Africa they want. Starting with the Freedom Charter, also known as one of the seminal documents that was ever produced, which gave us a template of the vision of the South Africa we yearn for. During the intense repression in the 80s, popular struggles here at home and abroad brought closer the possibility of attaining this freedom. It is during these processes again that as South Africans, working with our African brothers and sisters, ushered the birth of our democracy. And therefore it is fitting that as we celebrate 30 years of our constitutional democracy and the Constitution itself, we can again meet here as celebrating Africa Day to look at how far this baby that we gave birth to has actually developed. In celebrating Africa Day and commemorating the 3 decades of South Africa's constitutional democracy, we ought to reflect on how the supreme law of the land has ensured that we have transformed our country for the better, that we have contributed in making the African continent a peaceful and a prosperous place. 30 years into a democratic dispensation, we've laid the foundations of strong institutions that have been the architecture of the country we wanted. We've had legislative sector which has played an important role in developing legislation that is transformative. We have today a strong judiciary that dispenses justice and builds confidence in society that all are equal before the law. We have and still are progressively ensuring that human rights of all citizens are respected through our various constitutional bodies and our civil society. The government has been able to develop policies and execute programs that address the needs of our society. We can look back with admiration at the steps taken to build a functional state. Behind these gains are academics who have enlightened us with empirical research on how to improve governance and the provision of public service. Behind these gains are civil society who have always reminded us on how far sometimes we have had missteps in the journey of improving their societies, as well as ensuring that we build the country that they wanted. Behind these gains, it has been men and women who have worked tirelessly to ensure that they hold us to a promise of what we said we will do. In appreciating the foundations and the building blocks that have deepened our democracy, I have no doubt that this colloquium will reflect on the progress and challenges we still face from the perspective of different members of society present here today. I'm certain that this colloquium will share insights on how we navigate the next 30 years grounded on the principles and values we have used as a foundation to build the state structures in the recent past. To all our speakers and guests, I would like to extend a warm welcome and a robust engagement as you reflect on these important issues that you have set for yourselves. Again, welcome to Parliament, and I'm sure by being here, you will enrich our legislature to take on some of the resolutions that this colloquium may come up with. I thank you.